All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemiah Shai, and give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that do rule well. Salutations to the men of the Hope Land Sensei elect. This Marcus are from a Trinidad camp. Just want to do a little edification for the elect's sake. And these I ain't too sure how I might name it yet, but basically this lesson is basically concerning Jacob and Esau. All right, the Negroes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the so-called white man. All right, because you can see that Jake suffering from something called Stockholm syndrome, where they fell in love with their captors. All right, that the person that enslaved them and captured them, enslaved them, brought them here, to serve hard bondage, that they actually fell in love with them, and they put all their trust into the so-called white man. But how could somebody that enslaved you and oppressed you and still oppressing you unto this day do any good for you? All right, as the scripture said, his tongue was smooth as butter, but war was in his heart. All right, war was in his heart because he's seeking how to destroy Jacob. Now they want to come up with this vaccine where they want to encourage Jake to take the vaccine, and a lot of Jake gonna take it. Here's the reason the scripture said that he deceived them to take the mark of the beast, because they solely believe that that it have this COVID disease going around, and that if they don't wear the mask, they go get the disease or they get the virus. And they also believe that Esau will come up with the source, the solution. All right, he will come up with a vaccine that will save their life, and they will run to this vaccine. And just like they were deceived into taking the vaccine, they will be deceived and also to take the RFID chip, because alongside talking about the COVID and the vaccine, they're also pushing that cashless society. Because even here in Trinidad, they say that they want to go cashless by 2022. All right, and you see all over the world they're pushing for that, because all countries have the same agenda, because they're trying to come into that one world order right now. All right, as the scripture said, when he's about to fill his belly, and right now he's getting ready to fill his belly, so we know we're at the end. But the main purpose of this lesson is that they put all their trust in their enemies. Because why? Because they forgot who their enemies were. They forgot who their enemies were. All right, this is Psalm 74 verse 22. Arise, O Yahweh Shemiah Shai, plead thine own cause. Remember how the foolish man reproached thee daily, and how the foolish man reproaching the Lord daily by coming against his people, Negroes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? What the scripture said, he that toucheth you, touching the apple of my eye. And he also said, in all their afflictions, I was afflicted. So the Lord seeing what's going on with Jake. All right? That is why he said that none shall be remaining of the house of Esau. All right? It says, forget not the voice of thy enemies, the tumult of those that rise up against thee, increase it continually. All right. So the Lord said, David telling you, hey, don't forget the voice of your enemies. And basically, that is the same thing to Jay, because with the scripture said, I hate them that hate thee. I count them my enemies. So the enemies of the Lord Yahweh Shemiah Shai are our enemies. You can't say that you love the Lord, but then you don't have any enemies. Because if you love the Lord, you can't be a friend with the Lord enemy. What the Lord said, you cannot have two masters. Either you love one or you hate the other. All right, you can't be on opposite sides of the fence at the same time. Either you down for the Lord Yahweh Shemiah Shai or not. And a lot of you people this way. You on both sides, trying to be on both sides, saying you love the Lord, but then you cool with Esau. You want to see so-called white man make it, but that is the enemy. Apparently, you forget what he did to you in slavery in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Trails of Tears, with the conquistadors. You forgot all the atrocities the so-called white man did. The scripture called me hammer of the whole earth. Apparently, Jake forgot what the so-called white man done to them throughout the whole course of history, with the polio vaccines and all these things. All right? Giving us vaccines to make us sick. All right? Putting poison on foods for we to eat. All right? This is not our friend, that is our enemies. So don't forget that the reason we in this condition right now, dying and we in this dilapidated state is because of the so-called white man. And that is why the Lord coming to take him out of the way. So don't forget the voice of your enemies. All right? But Jake, don't forget. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 7, verse 11. Ephraim also is like a silly dove without heart. Now, when you look up the word heart, it goes back to understanding. And other translations you go into, the word there will be a silly dove without understanding. All right? They call to Egypt, they go to Assyria. So, yeah, so even Ephraim also represents Israel. All right? All the 12 tribes of Israel, they're like a silly dove without sense. They don't have no understanding. All right? And because you're a silly dove without understanding, you're going to get caught in a trap very easily. Because you believe solely in the so-called white man. You believe in Esau's system. That is what the scripture says, warn to them that go down to Egypt to help. You trust in a broken reed. All right? You put all your trust in Esau. The so-called, the one that oppressing us unto this day. And you have, that is what he said, what? A silly dove without understanding. That is why the scripture said, light is given unto them that is in misery. Understanding given unto them that is in misery. So when you're in misery, all right? When you're in misery, because you realize that you're being oppressed. The scripture said, oppression maketh a wise man mad. So if you people not being oppressed and you're not mad, then you're not wise. Like Vocab Malone saying that, the Hebrew Israelites, they say they always mad and whatnot. Guess what? The Most are always mad. We're mad because we're being oppressed. We're not in our place. Look at how the so-called white man have us. That is why the scripture said in prosperity there's a forgetting of affliction. So probably Vocab Malone not being afflicted. He not even a Jake. All right? So he not being afflicted. So he wouldn't know what we're going through. That is what that is saying. It said, who feels it knows it. Who feels it knows it. This is Isaiah chapter 28 and 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. Revelation chapter 20 and 14 said death and hell was cast into the lake of fire. That's talking about America. So they made an agreement with death and hell, which is the so-called white man, who increased his borders as death and is as hell. The so-called white man, the harbinger of death. It says, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. So you believe that, the overflowing scourge is, the wave, the corona wave. So when it comes, it ain't gonna pass down on us, But it have no coronavirus. It's just some fairy tale made up story. All right? To have you people in this mindset that you in right now. All right? So when martial law declares, you believe that, we did what the so-called white man said, so nothing gonna happen to us. For we have made lies of our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Jumping on to verse 18, it says, and your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then shall ye be trodden down by it. So you're going to be trodden down. The scripture said what? Is the Lord Yahweh shall send any plagues. You people, you're not going to escape. You're not going to escape from the judgment of the Lord. The Lord going to bring that harsh punishment upon 2/3 of our people. This is Psalms chapter 7, verse 11. It says, Yahweh judges the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. The Lord angry with the wicked every day. So if the Lord angry every day, why we can't be angry all the time? Because we see in what the scripture said, just Lot vexed with the conversation of the wicked. If just Lot was angry all the time, how much more us living in these wicked times? All right. So for someone to sit and what's the reason you're so mad? Why you mad all the time? Making it look like, like we talking some bullshit. Guess what? They don't understand the scriptures, and they are a silly dove without sense, without understanding. They're stupid, and they're gonna be destroyed because they got so docile, like an old lion, and they crouched down and they just like a floor, a true rug for the so-called white man, a footstool for him, not knowing that the so-called white man and all these other nations supposed to be their servants and are their enemies. Because they forgot who they are. Just like with in the Lion King, what did Mufasa tell Simba? You have forgotten me. You have forgotten who you are. Israel forgotten who they are. They have forgotten. They forgot what the so-called white man did unto them. But yet now in these last days, they're putting all faith and trust in him because they believe he's what? He's sweet Jesus. This is Jeremiah. The final precept here is Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 23. It says, can the Ethiopian change his skin? Because what the scripture said, there's none that do it good, no, not one. All right? Another thing they will say, oh, that is people long time. That is not the people now. That is their forefathers now. The Lord said, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquities of their fathers. Can the Ethiopian change his skin? Or the leopard his spots? What the scripture said, what the Lord had made crooked, no man can straighten. It says, his hands formed the crooked serpent. The Lord made Esau crooked. The Lord made Esau to be the wicked. So if the Lord made Esau to be the wicked, how can Esau become good? It says, then may ye also do good that are accustomed to evil. Esau can't do good. Esau can't do good. Nothing the so-called white man does is for our benefit. And Jake need to wake up and realize that. But as the scripture said in Daniel 12, they will wake up, but then they will wake up to everlasting shame and contempt. That is when they would wake up. When it's too late. So you people need to open your eyes and stop paying trust in the so-called white man and realize who your enemies are. The scripture said the heathen are our enemies. They are our enemies. It's not Satan, not the demons, now it's the so-called white man. And with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. I want to give double honors to the apostles of great mercy and do rule well. Salutations to the men of the hopeful and saints elect. These markers are from the train.com saying Shalom, stay strong. Mawat la babal, mawat la gawayam, mawat la agawam yam. Shalom.